Got them all over.
All over the place.
All over. What do we got here?
We got a little bluefish, I believe. Yeah. That's what it is.
Little bluefish.
Little bluefish there. Let's
Little
get that,
bluefish in the surf.
Get that bad boy
They're
out.
biting all over the place. Here you go. I think we're gonna maybe troll a little longer and then go back to casting. We got him. Little blue in the surf. A lot of fun. It's amazing how hard they fight, you know?
Light tackle. Blues in the surf, Spanish mackerel in the surf, man, I love it. I love it.
Isn't it wonderful? It's a lot of fun.
Look at those birds up ahead of us. We got a big school right dead.
Big school dead ahead, that's where we're going. How about if we you want to cast or do you want to do a little troll?
Hi, I'm Jim Baugh. Today we'll take you fishing out of Hatteras, North Carolina. We'll show you some great ways to catch blues, Spanish mackerel, and even how to fetch clams. Then we'll be off for an exciting freshwater adventure down the James River with the Boy Scouts. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Jim Baugh. First up on today's show, we're going to take a two-part trip down the Upper James River. The Upper James River has long been known for its scenic beauty and fantastic smallmouth fishing. So, I thought the James River would make for a fantastic scouting event for my son Ben's Boy Scout troop. With some helpful planning from the troop leaders, Troop 897 from Midlothian, Virginia was on its way to camp on the banks of the historic James River. Now, I figured if we wanted to experience the best part of the river in a short period of time, it would be very wise to use an outfitter who really knows the water. So, Troop 897 hooked up with the legendary James River Reeling and Rafting Company. Let me tell you one thing, if you're going to take a number of people down the James, it would be very wise to use a professional outfitter. James River Reeling and Rafting provided all the canoes necessary for the trip, transportation, equipment, and most importantly, expert advice. We wanted the boys to have an enjoyable trip on the river and to concentrate on catching fish and having fun. Using James River Reeling and Rafting made this easy. The last thing anyone wants to worry about is portaging canoes and transportation. Well, it was only a short paddle around the first bend when we came up with what looked like our first fishing hole. Now, as you can see, these Boy Scouts gave a valiant effort at catching smallmouth. Now, fish were caught, although pretty small, so swimming and paddling became the recreation of choice. There are just hundreds of small chutes and currents along the James River that are just perfect for swimming. During this trip, the water levels were very low, and there was no real whitewater to speak of. This can make for safe and enjoyable swimming conditions. Although good for swimming, these kind of water levels can make fishing rather tough. Old Ben Baugh took his power grubs, light spinning gear, and gave the eddies a good workaround. Ben knows during hot summer to fish in cool, moving water and also next to grassy beds if possible. Now, Troop 897 is not just here to have a fantastic, relaxing float trip. No, these are Boy Scouts, and Scouts have to work. So, working with James River Reeling and Rafting, Troop 897 did its part to help clean up the Upper James River. See, there are many areas on the river that have many sunken tires, so it was our mission to haul out as many tires as our canoes could carry. Once we reached the takeout, James River Reeling and Rafting would properly dispose of the tires. Now, this was a simple activity that really does help the river. The boys enjoyed getting out of their canoes and seeing who could find the best tire. I recommend that everyone do a little something to help clean up and preserve the Upper James. If you would like to participate in this tire cleanup, just contact James River Reeling and Rafting, and they'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. Well, the Troop 897 Scout float trip and cleanup was such a big hit, we decided to have one more big float trip to wrap up the summer. So I called our friends at James River Reeling and Rafting and told them to reserve about 30 or 40 floats. I had no problem gathering up about 40 folks and made plans to do a year-end James River float trip. What a way to wrap up a summer. A beautiful half-day float trip full of swimming and fishing. The kids all had an absolute ball. Our musical guest on this float was my buddy Paige Wilson. Paige hosts the Out of the Blue radio review and has several popular CDs with his group, The Reckless Abandon. After this float trip, Paige and the boys played a little music at our barbecue. It went a little something like this.
I find a lot of the river monsters eat watermelon. You can recognize them by the green hair.
You know, Jay, I think your dew is drying out, man. You need to get back in the water.
I need a new fresh dew.
You need to get back in the water with that dew. I knew. Oh, that little baby brother of mine, can I go fishing with you? Despite all the advice trying to save a catfish's life, hey, my little baby brother dead do caught a 9-pound catfish. The bottom, yes, he got him. Skinned him up right, fried him hot in the pan. With my pole and my line, I'm a-going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. Baby, going fishing too. Going fishing, good.
And now it's time for today's tip with some more information about James River Reeling and Rafting.
We are here riverside at beautiful James River, talking with Roger Black. How you doing, Roger?
Good, thanks.
Roger, you are James River Reeling and Rafting. Wonderful canoes. We floated with everything today. We had canoes, we had kayaks, we had the inner tubes. A lot of fun.
Everyone had a good float?
Oh, it was beautiful. Caught some fish, used those little powder crabs. We had a lot of fun. Last time we were here about 3 weeks ago, we used some live minnows and they worked well too. Mm-hmm. Now tell us about the river conditions today. It is low.
It is. It's actually up a little bit from the last couple of weeks.
Really?
So we have some local rains and something up farther in the watershed that's helping us a little bit, but
okay.
Still very low.
Well, just to give people an idea of how much the James River will fluctuate. Now, right now, what is the water level about?
2.7 at the Scottsville gauge today.
And I guess mean flood during fall is what, 15, 16
Yes.
feet at its worst maybe, which happens every several years. But this is absolutely a beautiful area where we're taking out. Now, we only did a 4-mile float today. Very nice half-day float. Now, tell us about some of these other float trips that y'all do, because I know they range from like 4 miles up to maybe 12 to 13 miles in a day.
That's correct. We have a 7-mile float from Warren Ferry back to Scottsville,
okay.
which would add another 3 miles to what you floated today.
Okay.
We have a 12-mile float from Hatteras back to Scottsville, and a 12.5 mile from Scottsville to Bremo.
Very
and
good.
we can combine those trips for overnighters.
Now, we're actually standing right here, also the campground area, right? And parking area, so people can come camp. Y'all can facilitate with camping. And it's, I guess for fishing, you're talking about August. This is a good time for fishing, even though it's low water conditions.
We've had very good fishing conditions considering the low water.
Now, how about whitewater? Is this, I guess, a late fall, mid-fall type thing?
Usually the better water is in the spring. We don't go over Class 2 rapids on the stretch of river that we run.
Well, we were down here about 3 weeks ago, brought the Boy Scouts, did a little cleanup effort. Fantastic group trip, came out here, and what we did is it was a goal to pick up as many tires out of the river as we could, hauled them on the daggone canoes, and just took them out of here. So y'all will work with groups like that want to come in and help do, cleanup efforts on the river?
Absolutely, absolutely. And not just on the James. The folks here at Reeling and Rafting are very good about providing their equipment and services to assist on the Rivanna River as well.
Okay.
Not just for cleanups, but for environmental education trips with school groups and anything similar to that.
Well, now this is a year-round activity. What about January, February, March? River gets a little cold.
Yes, the business closes down usually mid-October, unless the weather is very mild.
And kicks back up?
Early April.
Early April.
Yeah.
Well, that's excellent. We had an absolute blast. We're looking forward to it again. We've done several floats this summer, and I think we're going to maybe try that late fall, maybe Class 2 whitewater.
Very good. Thank you, Jim.
Charged and a full tank of gas, it was time to head offshore. Captain Mark Potter joined me for this trip and brought along his new Kenner 23V as well. If you're going to do a lot of offshore fishing, the offshore buddy system is not a bad idea. Well, after about a 20-mile run, we fished for a few hours and decided to head back to the inlet to try a little Spanish fishing along the beach. The weather had been quite rough and seas were getting a bit high, so inshore fishing sounded like a good idea.
And remember, even little blues have teeth, so you want to be careful. And we've got big hook removal pliers and all on the boat. We don't need them for these little fish, but they're just a ton of fun. It's really something to watch them bite right behind the boat.
Little blue, go. There we go. Right on the bottom.
No, the little blue. They're just right off the bottom, aren't they?
Right off the bottom.
They're little scrappy things.
Oh, man.
A lot of fun. Ben's having a great time up on the bow. All right, nice bluefish. Nice little bluefish. Cast to him, Ben. Good little bluefish. Got them all over. All over. What do we got here?
Bluefish, I believe. Yeah. That's what it is.
Little bluefish.
Little bluefish there.
Little bluefish in the surf.
Get that bad boy
They're
out.
biting all over the place. Here you go. I think we're gonna maybe troll a little longer and then go back to casting. We got him. Little blue in the surf. A lot of fun. Amazing how hard they fight, you know?
Light tackle. Blues in the surf. Spanish mackerel in the surf. Man, I love it. All right, Ben.
Well, Captain Earl Williams, Ben Baugh, and myself had about enough of fishing the beach, and before we headed in, there was just one thing left to do: clamming. That's right, the sound is just full of clams, and the marina told us where to go looking for them. So we anchored up both Kenner boats and started our hunt for the clams. Now, I cannot tell you how much fun this was. Not only are the clams great bait for wreck fishing, but they make for an excellent dinner as well.
Gonna join my friends and do a little clamming. Hopefully, we've already got like a half bucket of clams, and we're gonna get some more. And these clams, excellent bait for wreck fishing. We get out, the wind's gonna calm down a little bit, hopefully this afternoon. And we're gonna use these clams for a little bit of bait. Excellent for wrecks and also in the surf. Gonna try a little surf fishing, get the four-wheel drives out and get them. But it's a lot of fun, even if we don't catch any fish. Come down. Joe, give us the technique here on these clams, because we have got a lot of clams.
Well, you know, clams are scrumptious. They're very good to eat. We're over here on a sandbar on the other side of it, in the mud, feeling around with our toes. You know, we're doing little baby steps, finding little clams. They're all down here.
Well, you don't like the sand, do you? You're looking for the grass with some mud, right?
Mud and soft. Soft and muddy. And once you find one, you'll usually find a bunch. And after a long day out on the water, we come out here and we do this. It's cooling off now, the sun's going down, and clams on the grill are scrumptious.
Absolutely delicious.
Okay? We kick them up a notch sometimes.
What about this back step? I notice you're kind of doing the back step. Like,
Well,
oh,
see-
I've got one.
See? It's an aerobic workout right here.
Yeah, I got one
You
right
do
here.
the back step, you do the front step.
There he is.
And aren't they pretty clams?
Beautiful.
Look at that. And they are so tender. Cook them in the microwave, put them on the grill.
Look at that one.
You can do it all. Doesn't take
Clam,
long.
big clam, big. Very good.
And it's fun for everybody.
Good thing to do during midday too. When you come out here and you're offshore fishing, boy, I tell you, it gets really hot. If you're doing a half-day trip or charter, come on out, do some clamming. Makes for a great dinner. Ton of fun. The kids are having a blast.